third-party delivery platforms claim a bigger share of your sales pie, you want food photography that makes customers stop scrolling and hit the add to cart button. According to Deliveroo, items with images see up to a 6.5% increase in sales. Great images can also make your social feeds, online listings, and marketing stand out among the crowd. In part 1 of this video set, we went over how lighting, angles, and movement can take your food photography to the next level. Now, we'll go over 4 more tactics that the pros use to make dishes look dazzling online. First, keep it clean and tidy. The background of a photo is just as important as the subject. If you choose a busy background, it will distract from what you really want people to look at: the food. Use a simple backdrop like a cloth napkin or clean wood table that enhances the food and doesn't distract from it. For texture and interest, add small flourishes like flatware and glassware, tea lights, logo matchbooks or pins, your menu or wine list. A simple white background and minimal flourishes keep the focus on the food, as pictured from Gare de l'Est, a French brasserie in Toronto. Try to keep it to 1 or 2 accents to avoid creating a messy table that confuses the eye. If your restaurant has outdoor seating, some food photography is a great way to show off your garden or patio. Try to avoid using stainless steel backgrounds like the past or a prep table. They tend to be overly reflective and give your photos some lens flare. Good for sci-fi movies, bad for food. For your plates, glass, and cutlery, make sure everything is spotless. Even the smallest smudge of sauce or hard water stain will stand out in a food photo. It's always a good idea to keep a damp sponge and some towels around just in case you need them. Next, go to photography school. Well, not really. You can, however, borrow a few universal techniques that will give your photos a professional looking edge. One example is the rule of thirds. Food doesn't always look the best when dead center in the frame. The rule of thirds is a photography technique that uses lines to divide the frame into 9 equal rectangles. Try enabling the grid setting on your camera. This creates a grid on the frame, which will be your guide for composing the photo. By placing food where the lines intersect, you'll create a photo that the eye is more naturally drawn to and appears more interesting than a front and center approach. By placing this pasta dish along the grid lines instead of the exact center, it creates a more interesting image. Another example is repetition. The human eye is a pro at recognizing patterns, and you can take advantage of that to create some visual interest in your shots. Use items to create a pattern, such as a full tray of cookies, muffins, or a stack of bread loaves. These stacked baguettes from Gare de l'Est in Toronto make an interesting photo from an otherwise normal loaf of bread. Another great way to use repetition is by breaking it with one out-of-place item. That tray of cookies, take a bite out of one and put it back. This would also work with a pizza by removing one slice, or by having one as a part of a pattern be different from the other, like a different flavor. By employing either or both of these simple photography techniques, you can give your photos a professional look that will be sure to separate your restaurant from the pack. After you finish shooting, touch it up. Every photo looks better with a little bit of editing. You can edit directly on your phone or computer with a few simple tools. You don't have to do too much. A few tweaks to brightness, contrast, and saturation will make your photos pop. If you want to take a deeper dive, try adjusting the highlights, which is how bright the brights are, and the shadows, how darks the darks are. Once you start to see how different values affect the image, you can find a style that makes your food its best. Avoid adding filters, turning photos black and white, or inserting text. Let your food shine. A few small tweaks give this dish from Prairie Sun a much more appealing look. Lastly, take as many pictures as you can. Even the most seasoned photographer's first shot won't be perfect, so take as many as you're able to. Experiment with different angles, framing, and props until you get the right shot. The more photos you take, the better you'll get. Whether you're taking your restaurant online for the first time, updating your menu and delivery apps, or looking to improve your social media, it all starts with great restaurant food photography. When you're done shooting, tag us at 7shifts so we can see your delicious photos. Thank you so much for watching. For more on marketing in the restaurant and hospitality industry, subscribe to the 7shifts YouTube channel. Want to show off your knowledge? Sign up for 7shifts Academy to access free course material with quizzes and certificates. And don't forget to check the description box for links to other useful resources.